Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can tell, Good Times with Scar has been investing in this cavern with an arboreal passion, with an architectural, traction. He's got a grip on this design, and I think he's doing pretty fine, building himself what he hopes to be a fairly tall and petrified tree. We've got bits and pieces of cobble, bits and pieces of andesite, bits and pieces of some sort of tree there. That's right, acacia wood. I spent a lot of my time yesterday mining additional acacia wood. No, I guess you don't really mine acacia. What do? You log it, like so many server events. And good for me, I don't have a bow and arrow. Well, I do have a bow and arrow. I have a bow. I have no arrow. But I need to go through that door there to get out of here. And there's a creeper directly above it. So this is going to be one of those, like, let's just run until Daddy takes the T-bird away. Okay. Hey, slime. Enjoy being two people. Yay. Anyway, this is a great place to harvest slime. This central cylinder here, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work or what this is going to be when it's done, but Scar has been working on this non-stop, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. But you know what? I've had some time to think about it while I was gathering all the lumber to help him out, and I realized maybe I want to do something different with that barge. A lot of you guys left comments saying, Joe, that barge that you want to put near the entrance to your base, I was thinking of doing like a visitor center thing. I thought, that might be cool. But like, oh wow, these have already regrown. I guess if I log out overnight, they're going to regrow. Yeah, I've harvested this entire clump several times, because acacia looks like the best petrified wood that money can buy, other than stone, which looks a lot like petrified wood as well. At first I was a tree that got petrified. Something, I don't know, the tree is wide. Huh, so somebody seems to have built some sort of weird brain thing here. Wonder where this goes. The Allium Alliance. The Allium Alliance? I don't know, so we got some aliens on the server now. That's weird. Maybe I should get some concrete powder and build something else, like subterrestrial. Yeah, that would look cool. It'll be like some sort of vampire or something. Oh, hey, all the zombie pigs. Anyway, I'm on my way back to my base, so we can figure out where we're going to put our pig barge. We don't really need to figure it out. We know. A lot of you guys said, Joe, why can't you make the pig fit in the bay? And I was like, dude, it's a 60-block long barge. That's 30 blocks wide. That's just too big for the bay. It's not going to fit. But you know what, commenters? I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate everything you say. I went back and I thought about it. I redid my math. And I realized that I was scaling the boat up based on the amount of space between the snout of the pig and the front of the boat, which actually should have been based on the distance between the legs of the pig and the front of the boat. So basically, I was adding just a ludicrous distance to the front of the boat. Also, I was then proportionally scaling up the sides to fit it, when really, if I was doing a 1-to-1 pixel to block recreation here, I only need this boat to be 6 blocks wider than the pig at its base and another 2 on either side for its sides. So I really just didn't do the math right on that. Now, knowing that my barge needs to be much smaller, that reopens the possibility of placing the barge inside the bay itself here. Now, I know we talked about this, and I was like, a 60 by 30 boat will only barely fit in this inlet. It will look like it was, like, it could not jostle free if you tried. But you know what? A 30 or a 27 by 16 boat, that we could fit in here. That'll fit in better than you did in high school. No, I'm just kidding. You were too popular. It won't be as popular as you, except all the pigs will come and see it because they're big tourists. Pig tourists. But anyway, what I figure I need to do is grab out all of the... Oh, no, that's a witch. And I don't have any arrows. Okay, and that's a zombie. And I have a similar arrow-related issue involving that zombie there. So, maybe I will wait for someone to turn night into day. Thank you, Doc M. You're my favorite. Of all the docs, you're number M. No, you're number 77. Which means, like, a lot. Hey, enjoy being burned to death. Hey, you? Hey, how's the burning going? You been to Mount Vernon lately? The home of George Burns? Dang it. I was trying to find a way to combine Washington and Burns. That did not work. But anyway, I thought it was funny. Have you seen George Burns in anything? He's a comedian from, like, a long time ago. Some of you guys might be too young. But he was in some pretty funny movies. Him and his wife Gracie had a big TV show. Like, back before there was YouTube, there was just, like, people that would get married and then make TV shows together. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and figure out the orientation we want for this. I figure the pig should probably be facing out into the bay. And then we'll have all the other little pigs ringing him, looking toward him. So that means that we want to have this. Let's go ahead and on these boats, where is the bottom of the boat actually located? Is it way under the water? Oh wow, it kind of is. It's 5 blocks, 6 blocks under the... Is it 6? Yeah, it's 6 blocks under the water. So that means this thing has to go down 6 blocks under the water. Oh, I'm going to have to remove a ton of water, aren't I? Wait, it doesn't look like the base actually goes down 6 blocks under the water, because it goes 1, 2, 3... there, and then up 1, 2, 3 there, and then the base. So maybe it's 2 blocks thick on the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. So if this has to go down 6 blocks to hit bottom, so this is 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is like one corner of this. So we'll imagine the pillar I put in place here is this back corner pixel right here. So that means we need to go across a good number of blocks, and then forward a good number of blocks. In anticipation of having to clear out a whole bunch of water from my boat, I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of this gravel from these gravel flats near my base. Whoa. I said gravel flats, not gravel tunnels that are going to have creepers in them. Gravel tunnels. Stop it. Oh, I should have put torches underneath those. That would have been way smarter. But anyway, I'm going to grab a bunch of this. I figure what I'm going to do is put the boat in at a 1/8 grade. I've already got some of the outside set up. I'll show you that in just a minute. But I wanted to get all this together because not only can I use this gravel for getting rid of the sand that I have to deal with, I can also use it later to make more concrete and hopefully finish out the pieces on the sides of my cube. That's been hanging over my head for a while. Partially because I love having those windows there. I love being able to see the sky a little bit. And I've been on the fence about maybe just doing glass and windows for some of the colors, but, you know, I gotta commit either way. So, we'll try it with the concrete powder. If we don't love it, we can always switch to the windows later, but we can't just leave those empty forever. Gotta deal with them sooner or later. Okay, what do you call that? The deck of the boat's gonna have a footprint of 432 blocks, but it's deeper than that, so we're gonna need a good amount of gravel. We've got about 100 blocks of gravel so far, which is enough that we can get started, and, well, we got a little more than 100. So not only can we get started, but hopefully if we do this in segments, we won't need to have all the gravel all the time. So it should be enough to get going now. We'll just go ahead and run back there, and be on our way. Time skip! So here we are at the beginning of our frame of our boat. We've got some ladders here around the sides to kind of keep some of the water at bay, but really that's not going to permanently replace it. We need gravel. We need lots of it. Now, I've gone through and I've been kind of basing the floor off the seam of the boat itself. You see this boat has these dark lines in it, so I'm mixing in some dark lines there. I figure once I do a rough pass with, like, just using these dark lines helps me make sure I got my count right. But once we do a pass with the 2 basic types of what I'm using here, I might be able to come back through with concrete or wool or other types of kind of, what do you call them? Materials that would look good in the bottom of the boat. Also, I'm not sure how visible the bottom of the boat's going to be, really, because most people who see this We're going to be flying over it, and there's going to be a giant pig there. So, like, all things considered, that might not be everybody's biggest concern, or their biggest concern when you think about it. So the last one has a line of light wood next to the line of dark wood there. I'm kind of thinking that I should fix that by grabbing some of these birchwood trees, cutting them down, and using that wood. So that'll really make our large barge look like a boat that people would vote for. Like, I want it to be highly electable. Well, those are definitely way too light. We're going to have to use oak in the long term, but for right now, these will help as a placeholder so that I can at least count out how many I need and, you know, that sort of thing. So, might as well just keep going for the time being. And there's the outside of our boat. It doesn't look like much from here, but once we get the pig inside, it'll look a lot better, I think. Especially once we get all the little pigs all around, too. Very impressive, I think, eventually. I've cleared out a lot of the water inside the boat here, but as you can tell, I've tried to get clever with these ladders. I realized if I break the gravel that the ladder's attached to, I don't have to break the ladder. So I can clear out like 8 blocks worth of water with only breaking 4 blocks worth of gravel. The ladders just come off for free. Then I realized, like, oh, if I do the gravel in the middle, like this, I only have to break 2 blocks to get 6 blocks cleared out. And then I started thinking about it more. And this is not necessarily ideal, but this is a pretty efficient way to clear out 2 blocks deep water. It's not perfect by any means, well, by most means, but it's definitely marginally passable. Look at that. I've just like placed a bunch of like doors down, and then I can hit them each once, and they're just cleared out. It's pretty close to perfect. It's not ideal, but with the specific height of water we're clearing, it is a pretty handy mechanism. Now, I accidentally did the math a little bit off on this side here, so I need to bring in this wall just slightly, which is the only reason that this floor isn't actually fully done right here, because this actually needs to go, whoops, that can stay. Well, actually, let's go ahead and just throw some more doors in there. Why not? Hey, it's Python. Welcome, Python. I love playing on a server and getting to see new people every day. Or the same people every day because they're awesome. Like Python. You'd think like, Python, that guy sounds like a snake. But he's actually really cool. We hung out at Minecon in Anaheim. Oh, speaking of Anaheim, the Ducks are playing the Predators in the Stanley Cup playoffs soon. Well, like today. Oh my goodness, that's today. By the time you guys watch this, that's happening. Like that tonight for you. And that is going to be awesome. Luckily, Python is not an Anaheim Ducks fan, so we do not have to have strong words between us right now. We can just have gentle, happy words like, welcome, Python, to the server. I'm always glad to have you here. You're a cool guy. So, anyway, we're just going to go ahead and keep fixing this wall the best we can for the time being. We'll go ahead and shave this extra bit off here in a minute. We don't really... Yeah, because right now this is just going to be a little bit extra thick, which is not ideal, but it's not ruinous either. Dang it. More blocks. You never stop to have enough blocks. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So other things that I realized you could do for clearing a large amount of this is you could just kind of set up these signs off the gravel and then break the gravel when you're done, right? Like, see, this is going to create a clear path here for the gravel. And, of course, now I'm out of doors and signs and, well, I still got some ladders. I like the ladders, too. There's just so many fun ways to get rid of water in this game. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Let's go beat down some of these doors. Here's the door. It's near the floor. I hit it with an axe some more, 'cause I smash it when I bash it door. Oh, no, that's undesirable. Unacceptable quantities of fluid. So there we go. I think that was all of it. Was that the end of the water in here? Just a little bit more right over here. Not too bad. Easily dealt with. And scotch more over this way. we have completely unsubmersibilized our boat now. We can go ahead and start moving the pig in the next episode, but I figure I should probably go ahead and get this cleared out first, because like, if I start putting the pig in and all the doors and stuff are still poking it, it'll be like, no, my piggy feet, they do not like getting piggy poked. That is not fun. So, yeah, look at this. Boom, that just clears right out. So many good ways to clear out 2 deep water. Now, 3 deep water, you get a lot more complexity. There's more problems to it. But these doors really just made that so simple. Okay. Of course, I have no room for any of this stuff. Luckily, I brought a chest with me because I knew I was going to have a bunch of arbitrary stuff. So we'll go ahead and store some of this extra pink wool for the time being. And we will wipe out the rest of this like it is no problem at all. Whoops, that's a problem at all. That is a problem. Real problem there. Now, the sides of the boat also aren't as tall as they're gonna ultimately be yet, but, you know, right now, we just needed to get this deep enough that we could start building and get a sense of it. So I don't consider this a waste. So, here we go. We can get our pig roughly in place. Now, it looks like we're going to have the pig shift a little bit naturally with this. I think that there was, let's see, 8 blocks between his front and back feet. So if we come in here with our torches and mark that out, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then we go ahead and we have this slide along there. So we can actually just follow the lines that we established at the bottom of the boat to follow the natural curvature that the pig would follow. So, and it looks like this here should be, actually this entire piece here should be more forward. Dang it, too many. Dang it. I can place blocks, believe me. It can happen, man. Just, you gotta have a little bit of confidence in me. Okay, so now we have our pig's legs. I don't know exactly how tall they are, but I just wanted to get a sense of how everything fits in here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hop on our little boat. Okay. Hey, villager. Hope everything's going well for you. I'm doing good. I'm hanging out with this guy who isn't sharing his boat with me. And I'm getting away from you because I think you're going to smash me with your fists. And then we're going to come over here to the top of this island because this island looks like an excellent place to end the video. You got to have an eye for these things. But more importantly, you got to have a land for these things. An island is what I call it. So I'm just going to go ahead, ladder up here. Get a view. Yeah, that's coming together. Do I have some gravel? Boom. Elevate. 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 I'm a robot. Boom. Yeah, that's almost there. I mean, it's not done, but it's definitely come a long way. So, this episode, you might have noticed, was mid-roll ad-free, and that's thanks to one of our Patreon patrons at the $50 a month level, Eagle Fam. So thank you, Eagle Fam, for making this episode ad-free in the middle of it. Now, what that also means, though, is that I have to also share a poem that I have written myself. Now, some of you guys might have different arguments about what is or isn't a poem, but I consider this next one a poem. I don't have a real title for it, like many of my poems. It's just in there, in my little notebook. So, I will read it now. Love the Lord? Find jobs in your area writing scripture. Divinely inspired, set your own hours creating the word that will be spoken, transcribed, imprinted, bound, and illuminated for millennia. Pay commensurate with experience, composing sacred text messages under his influence and focusing souls via parabolic reflection. Familiarity with covenants a plus. Recruiters, please don't contact us. So there you go. There is a poem I have written myself, unpublished, unshared, just for you guys. Thank you again, Eagle Fam. Thank you again to all my patrons who help support me This office or studio, whatever you want to call it, is several $100s a month, so every little bit helps. You guys are all great. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.